What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by, spending a few minutes of your time here with me tonight. Tonight, I want to go over with you this current week's price action so far on the DJ30, and then we're going to zoom in on each session and talk about potential trading opportunities. Now, we talked about this in the last video, right? Not every day is going to set up the ideal environment for day trading, right? But when it comes to these indexes, it's my personal opinion that there are opportunities to trade every single day, okay? But that doesn't mean we're going to actually trade every single day, because at the end of it all, certain days are better for trading than others, all right? And just based on your personality, some days are going to be easier for you. Some days are going to be a little more difficult for you to get, right? So for me, the good days are the days when the trade sort of jumps out at me. I'm able to plan the trade a little bit beforehand, sort of say to myself, okay, if we're trading back into the low at this time and I get this pattern, then I'm going to buy this market. All right, those sort of trades, like I can see it happening. It's pretty clear. All right. Other days, though, the bad days, these are a little bit harder for me to identify. And I identify them by the way that I'm trading, okay? Because like I'll notice that I'm sort of getting in and out of the market with small trades, trying to secure a good entry, but there's a lot of back and forth price movement. It's hard to determine the direction. Wicks are being thrown, to both sides, and shaky, getting shaken out of trades, and then buying, getting back in and getting back out. And it's just difficult. When I find myself doing that, I know it's time for me to back off a little bit, maybe go look at a different market, go take a breather, go take a walk real quick, come back with fresh eyes, a fresh mind, you know what I'm saying, recentered, and take another look, right? So that's that's sort of the difference between a good day and a bad day for trading. The good days are going to be easy, simple, obvious. When you take the trade, there's not much thinking involved, okay? But when it's a bad day, like Stacy says, this shit becomes a science project, right? You're doing experiments on your charts, trying to enter here and then exiting and then entering. You know what I mean? That's exactly what a bad day is. It causes you to force trades. If you catch yourself forcing trades, trying to get a direction right, you need to chill, right? So anyway, here is Monday on the DJ30, and here we're just zoomed in on the session itself, okay? This green box is the session, okay? 8:30 to 11 o'clock. When it comes to looking for trades, there's this question, okay? And Stacy is always asking this question. That's why I'm always asking this question. Are we working the high or are we working the low? When we come to the session, all right, there's going to be a high and low range that we're working within, okay? Whether that's like the Asian high and London low, or it's the London high and low, right? Or a gap time high and low. Like, for example, right here, we have this low, we have this high going into the 8 o'clock hour, right? This is the low, this is the high. And you can see that we trade down. We're working that low. We're going back into that low. We trade up here, okay? Come back down, working into that low. We actually trade through this, deeper into this low. We're working the low, okay? And that's exactly what we're trying to see. And you can see the timing window right here, okay? Right here at 10:24, 10:25, we get our engulfment, okay? At the low of the day, we have trapped traders here, traders who are shorting this market, thinking we're about to melt and put in a new low of the day. But we reject. This is where I entered the market, down here, okay? That engulfment right there. And I took that thing up there, okay? It was a beautiful day. I loaded up, layered my positions, and just got out of there, bro. Shut it down, didn't look at anything for the rest of the day. All right? And this is what I'm saying. This Monday is pretty choppy here at 9:30. We get all this chop right here. It's pretty choppy. That makes it hard to trade unless you know what you're looking for. In this case, the 3rd-hour pump. Okay, we get this dump and pump sort of trade going on right here. All right. Tuesday, same deal when we come to the session. Are we working the low or are we working the high? And you can see here, this is the low of the current day. When we come to the session, boom, we put in a low right here, right around 9 o'clock. We start trading back up at 9:30. We trade back down into that low, come up, trade back down into that low. All right, we are working the low. That's what these arrows represent. Here's the large W pattern, the engulfment here. All these traders who sold right here are trapped in this market, their accounts being eaten into. That's a beautiful trade. That's an easy trading day. This right here is an easy trade. Okay, opportunities all over the place, but this is an easy trade right here. You can see the times, right? The new 15-minute rotation, 10:15. Bam. When it comes to this shit, bro, it's like you come to your charts at 9:30. If you don't see anything at 9:30, come back at 9:45. Okay? If you don't see anything at 9:45, come back at 10 o'clock. Nothing at 10 o'clock, 10:15. Nothing there, 10:30. You understand? You want to be lining your trades up. These trades, the good trades, they line up with specific times, all right? Excuse me. Here, Wednesday, this is a trade that, I told you I took a little bit after the timing window, right? But when we come into the session, we have a high and we have a low. You can see at 9:30, we pull back for this continuation, all right? So you could have nailed this short trade right here or nailed it from the high of the day here. But here we have the low of the day. We can see a 3 push pattern into that low of the day level. We get a W engulfment and start trading to the other side, all right? On this particular day, I came to the charts late, so I didn't have the opportunity to get in here or to get in here, but I was able to develop an idea of what I wanted to see for this market, okay? Because I saw this and I thought to myself, okay, the low of the day has been locked in place. We get this and then start trading back up inside, potentially locking in the low of the day. So if we come back down here, I might be looking for the long trade. And what happened, right? Right here around 11:30, we come right back into that low, give a W pattern, that engulfment. We've induced traders, right? People think that this market's going to continue lower. They are selling this market, okay, and selling it the whole way up. But these traders here are trapped. We get the nice trade, the nail and bail sort of opportunity. I nailed this thing, bro. I got in down here at the bottom, and I got out at the tippy top somehow. I don't know, bro. I don't know how, but I did. And really, it's because, like, the move already happened, right? So I know I'm essentially scalping. I'm taking like a nail and bail opportunity. I'm not afraid to take profits, bro. Don't be afraid to shut that shit down and get out of there. That's exactly what I did. Now, here on Thursday, this is a day where, we're asking ourselves, are we working the low or are we working the high? But it depends. Where are we when you come to the screen, okay? Maybe, I get to the screen right here at 8 o'clock, but you don't come until 9 o'clock right here. And then, Joe doesn't get to the screen until 10:30. So when if you come to your chart here, we're doing something different than if you come to your chart here, right? So if you're here early to the session, you can see we got this high here. Bam, the high of the day level is right here. We're working back into that high right before 9:30. The market sells off, okay? Here's a low of the day level. You see we work back down into that low, reject, come back up, work back down into this breakout, sort of this big impulsive move right here. We work back down into that. When? Right at 10:30, bro. So I'm lining trades up with the hour. This potentially could be a day that shakes traders up, okay? Especially if they're trying to get in, around here. It's real choppy sort of price action, and it's quick. It's just, this is a 1-minute chart, right? So you get these 2 huge candles, and then we start going the other way. That's only 2 minutes. So you got to be, minding your P's and Q's. That's what I mean. You got to know when it's a good day. If you take this, you have to know when you're going to take profits. Like, are you holding this for a long time, or are you just, trying to get in and trying to get out? Because that's how I'm trading, bro. If I can't see a banger type of setup, then I'm only trying to be in the market for 10 minutes, 15 minutes and get out. But if I can see, a beautiful opportunity, something like this, I might be willing to hold on to something a little bit longer, right? We have that low of the day locked in place. We trade back down into there. So here's the pullback for the continuation to the upside. I might be holding on to that, right? Or I might scale into it. Here on Monday, this right here was like, fuck, this was perfect, bro. So I sized into this trade. I planned on holding it for a little while just because of the way it's set up, the way we're working into that low here. It just stuck out to me, okay? And I nailed that trade. It's sort of as discretionary. You'll have to figure it out on your own as you progress and mature in your skills and ability to execute these trades as time goes on, right? But basically all we're looking at is the most recent high and low range. And we want to know, are we trading? Are we working the low? Are we working the high? Are we working the high for a short trade? Are we working the low for a long trade? You see what I'm saying? We come into the session and we work back into that low of the day and we get the reversal, and we're looking at key times. We're looking at 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11 o'clock. We want to basically line up our trades with new 15-minute rotations or new hourly rotations, okay? So anyway, I hope that makes sense for you. There's tons of opportunities out there. If you're unsure of a trade on whatever day, just wait, okay? Now here's a look at the overall template, and you can see I had my best performance on this day. This hardly a move up, okay? But I nailed it because I was waiting on it. I knew exactly what I was looking for going into that session for this scalp, and I made the most out of it, okay? Here, it might be hard to get in right at the low, but if you know what you're looking for here, right? We have a break of a weekly low. Other time frame traders triggered into that market. When we trade back up in here and close inside of that high and low range like this, we are potentially locking in the low of the week. This becomes our day one. And you can see on day two, we pull back into that, this large impulsive price move to the upside from Tuesday. We pull back into that move on Wednesday for the continuation trade near the end of the day. And then on Thursday, you see we put in a low of the day right here. We come up for the New York session. We trade right back down into that low for the continuation to the upside. Absolutely beautiful trade. The setup here, this is amazing. This is the kind of trade that you want to hit hard, bro. And once you get used to seeing this, okay, you want to hit these things. That's the day 3 opportunity. This low of the week becomes day 1, day 2, day 3. Bam. That's a sorry about that. That's a low hanging fruit trade, continuation trade to the upside in a now bullish template. And remember, the market can only do 3 things. It can give a lower close than the open, it can give a higher close than the open, or it can give a relatively equal close to the open. Okay, so on these days, when we have the low of the week potentially put in place, now we might be expecting higher closes. All right, so when we come to a day like Wednesday, we know that our most ideal entry into this market, if we are indeed going to get a higher close, is anywhere at or below the previous day's closing price. Same day, same thing on Thursday. If we're expecting a higher close, we want to get into this market anywhere at or below the previous day's closing price. Because if we, the market's going to give a higher close, so obviously if we get in under the opening price, beneath the opening price, lower than the opening price, we are catching a discounted rate for a market that's going to give a higher close by the end of the day, right? I hope that makes sense to you. But this is how you're going to, start looking for potential setups when you're trading something like this, and you can see every day we get moves potentially in the session. We're not trading every single day. We want to capitalize on the best of the best, right? Anyway, until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.